So we're going to go over today 3 simple steps to make sure your child is ready to be on social media. Not that you have to have the technology to watch what they're doing, but as a parent, there's some simple steps or simple comparisons to make sure your child is ready to be on social media. If we haven't met yet, my name is Mike Lemon. I am founder of CyberSafe Teen. I've been a cyber cop for 15 years. I've hunted pedophiles that lurk online and live next door. And now we do use training and education to help parents make better decisions to keep their kids safe online. So let's jump into this. Do you have to be a techie to make sure your child stays safe online? Absolutely not. Uh, and that's because you can use some simple steps, the same steps you would take as a parent to make other decisions, to make the same decisions about technology. Because you got to think, the only thing different is things are going on the phone, on the tablet, on gaming systems. The same problems they're seeing can see in real life. So you don't have to have that technology background. You can make simple steps to make sure your child is safe. Uh, One of the things, number one, right off the bat, is, and my drawing is really incredible. I'll let you know that up front. That is a house, kind of. So, would you allow your child to stay home? Yes or no? Why is that? Are they mature enough to stay home by themselves? If they're sick for a day, do you have to be there to make sure they don't get into trouble, something bad does not happen? Or are they mature enough and able to take care of themselves enough to where you don't have to be there? You don't have to be there the whole time to make sure that they don't hurt themselves. That same comparison goes to social media. You're not going to be there when they're online. You're not going to be there the whole time, every time they are on Instagram or Snapchat. Never allow your child to be on Snapchat. We'll get into that later. Uh, you're not going to be there the whole time to hold their hand during this process. So if they're responsible enough to be home alone, then maybe they're responsible enough to be on social media. And this isn't make sure you a checklist of where you get enough checks and okay, my child can be on social media. No, this is a kind of a slider. Maybe they're higher in some areas and lower in the other. And in total, you've got to see, well, are they to the point where they can be reliably be safe on social media? So this is the first one here. Can they stay home by themselves? Lots of bad things can happen when they're home by themselves or if they're not ready. So if they're ready to be home ready to be home by themselves, then maybe they're ready to be on social media. If they're not, then they're probably not ready to be on social media. A lot of you preteen parents. Second part is let's try this again. Money, right? So mall. I spend a lot of money at the mall. Is your child uh, are they able to go to the mall with their friends when you're not there? Do you trust them to go to the mall with their friends if you're not there? If the answer is yes, then maybe they're ready to be on social media. If the answer is no, then maybe not. And this comes down to their personality. Are they leaders or are they followers? If they're going to follow everything their friends do at the mall and get into trouble, not because they're a bad kid, because they're hanging around kids who are making bad decisions, and their decision to follow them is obviously a bad decision as well, then they're not ready to be on social media. If they can say, to their friends, you all do you, and I'm going to do my thing. If you get in trouble, you get in trouble, but I'm not going to go down that road. Then they're mature enough, responsible enough, I believe, in my opinion, to be on social media. Again, it's an adjuster. It is a slide, a slide rule where they say yes. Maybe this time they are, and this can be something to where you have to keep in contact with your child, be present in their life to say, you know what, they have been mature, but lately they haven't been acting as mature, and maybe you throttle some things back because just the way they're acting. So if they can be home alone by themselves, that's a positive for them. If they can go to the mall by themselves with friends and not get into trouble and make good decisions while you're not there, then that's another positive for them. The third one is, Those are little shadow people. So friends, will they go to the friends? Will you allow them to go to their friend's house and spend the night? Some people will not. I'm one of those. My kids will not spend the night at other people's homes. Just the way I am. But if they are responsible enough, whether you do or you don't, if they are responsible enough to go to a friend's home and act right with their family, make sure that they can keep themselves safe, and to make sure that they can make good decisions. If they can do these things, then yeah, they're probably ready for social media. Now, I will give you one warning though. Once you open that box and say yes, you can have social media, you will never ever close it. Once they get on it, once they get a taste for it, once they understand how it works, once they understand how easy it is to make a separate profile, then you know what? There's no turning back at this point, because it's pretty simple for kids. You can say, okay, you've been acting great, you've allowed you on social media, but now you're making some bad decisions, so now I'm taking you off social media. You got to delete these apps from your phone. Well, they know how to get on there. So they can take their phone, they can delete the app when they're at home. As soon as they walk out the door, they can add it to it, sign back in, and boom, they're have it. Or they can get a friend's phone. We see that a lot. They use a friend's phone to communicate, to check their status, to send messages back and forth, and then they sign out and give the phone back to their friends. So just understand that once you say yes to social media, there's no turning back. You will never, ever get that ability to take that away, because they always know how to get on there. They always know they can use a different email address. Once they understand these things, it's forever. Now, I was doing a presentation at a school a couple months ago, and it was some grandparents who are raising their granddaughter, which is, you think as 30, 40, or 50-year-old parents right now, you feel out teched by your kids. Imagine how the grandparents feel. It's even more so. But they at the end of the presentation, they said, we want our grandchild off Snapchat after what we talked about. And I'll tell you again, if your child's on Snapchat, they do not need to be on Snapchat. Take them off, get them off. Do not let them on Snapchat. We'll go into whole reasons why later on a different video. But for now, just take my word for it as someone who's worked crimes against children for 15 years. They do not need to be on Snapchat. Filters are funny. Bunny ears are funny. They're cute. Some of the voices are hilarious. Kids don't need to be on there. So they said, I want to get our child off there. And I said, there's no way to do that. Well, can we just uninstall the app? No, I mean, you can uninstall it, but they're going to leave the house. They're going to reinstall it. They know how to they know the password. They know how to get in. Well, we just take the phone away from her? Yeah, you could, but then she's going to get a phone from a friend. We see a lot of times friends will loan phones to them, or they'll actually give them one of their old phones that they didn't trade in, and now they got a phone that you never ever even hear about. They're just using it off Wi-Fi. Or if they're working, making their own money, you can get a throw phone from Walmart or a dollar store for like $40. Pretty simple. So just understand that first, before you go through these things, these parts here, these tips. They can stay home alone. Yes, check. They can go to the mall without us being there. They make good decisions. Check. They can go to their friend's house, maybe even spend the night, and they can make good decisions and be good kids. Check. But in the end, you have to realize, as I said, once you say yes, there's no going back. So we hope these tips help. If you have any questions about this, drop it in the below. And I'd like to know, kind of a question of the day: what apps, or when did you allow your child to be on social media? What were some trigger points? What were some things in their life that you said, yes, they're ready to be on social media? So we can help those parents of kids who aren't on there yet make the best decisions they can. Again, my name is Mike Lemon, and y'all have a great day.